the paradox of the avoidant heart, a conundrum as old as the tales whispered by the Greek gods themselves. Picture, if you will, a person standing in the doorway of their own emotional sanctuary, clutching the latch with a grip so tight it turns their knuckles white. Why, you might ask, do avoidants always seem to want what they push away? It's a question that dances on the edges of reason, a tango between desire and distance, intimacy and independence. Imagine a scene, a lighthouse on a stormy coast, its beacon cutting through the fog with a resolute clarity. Now envision an avoidant individual as that lighthouse keeper, isolated yet yearning for connection, tending to the light but never venturing too close to the sea. They are masters of their own solitude, yet curiously drawn to the warmth and chaos of human connection. They crave the intimacy they fear, much like that lighthouse keeper who dreams of the sea but feels safest on solid ground. Let's delve into a story, shall we? Consider a man named Oliver, a man of profound introspection, who often found himself on the periphery of relationships, like a moon orbiting a planet yet never quite making contact. Oliver had a talent for weaving tales, his words a tapestry of wisdom and wit. But when it came to matters of the heart, he was more inclined to observe than to participate. One autumn evening, Oliver met Clara, a vivacious artist whose laughter was as infectious as a child's delight on Christmas morning. She was a whirlwind of color and spontaneity, a stark contrast to Oliver's calculated reserve. Intrigued by her vibrancy, he allowed himself to be drawn into her orbit, like a moth to a flame, aware of the danger yet unable to resist the pull. Their relationship was a delicate dance, a waltz of hesitance and hope. Clara, with her open heart, saw through Oliver's defenses, her intuition like a compass guiding her through the maze of his detachment. She sensed the longing in his eyes, the silent call for closeness that his words belied. Yet, the closer she came, the more he retreated, a pattern as predictable as the tide. Oliver's avoidant tendencies were rooted in the soil of his past, nurtured by experiences that taught him that vulnerability was a luxury he couldn't afford. And so, he built walls, fortresses of self-preservation that kept him safe, but also isolated. Clara, however, was undeterred, her patience like a gentle breeze that slowly eroded the barriers Oliver had erected. In moments of solitude, Oliver pondered this internal conflict, this yearning for connection that clashed with his instinct to withdraw. It was as if he were a wanderer, lost in the desert, thirsting for water but fearing the mirage. He longed for Clara's presence, yet the fear of losing himself in the relationship made him hesitate. He was a man torn between the desire for intimacy and the comfort of solitude. Now, isn't it curious how the human heart can be both a sanctuary and a prison? This is the essence of the avoidant paradox. The very thing they desire, they push away. Their heart's a battleground of conflicting impulses. It's a dance of shadows, where every step forward is met with an equal step back, a dance that is as exhausting as it is mesmerizing. Let us not forget the stakes involved. For an avoidant, opening up is akin to standing on the edge of a precipice, the ground beneath them crumbling with every vulnerable word spoken. The fear of engulfment, of losing one's identity in the sea of another's expectations, is a formidable adversary. Yet, the yearning for connection is like a siren's call, impossible to ignore. Consider another tale of a woman named Isabel, whose life was a series of calculated moves, a chess game where every piece was strategically placed to avoid vulnerability. Isabel was a scientist, her mind a vast library of knowledge, her heart a fortress of rationality. Yet, beneath the surface, there lay a longing, a desire for a connection that transcended the boundaries of logic. Enter David, a fellow scientist whose passion for life was a flame that threatened to melt Isabel's carefully constructed defenses. He was persistent, his warmth a beacon in the cold, analytical world Isabel had created for herself. Their conversations were a dance of intellect and emotion, a fusion of minds that sparked a connection neither had anticipated. As their relationship deepened, Isabel found herself at a crossroads. The desire for intimacy was a powerful force, yet the fear of vulnerability loomed large, a spectre from her past that whispered warnings of heartache and loss. She oscillated between engagement and withdrawal, her heart a pendulum swinging between hope and fear. Isabel's journey was one of self-discovery, a realization that the armor she wore was both a protection and a barrier. She learned that vulnerability was not a weakness but a strength, a bridge to the connection she so deeply craved. It was a revelation that transformed her relationship with David, allowing her to embrace the uncertainty of love with an open heart. In both Oliver's and Isabel's stories, we see the dance of the avoidant heart, a choreography of contradictions that is as complex as it is compelling. The push and pull of intimacy and independence, the desire for connection clashing with the fear of vulnerability, is a universal struggle that many can relate to. It is in the resolution of this conflict that true growth occurs. The journey of the avoidant is one of courage, of facing the shadows of the past and embracing the light of vulnerability. It is a journey that requires patience, both from themselves and those who love them, a dance that is as rewarding as it is challenging. So why do avoidants always want what they push away? Because at their core, they are human, with hearts that yearn for connection, yet fear the loss of self. It is a paradox that is both a burden and a gift, a journey that, when embraced, leads to the profound richness of genuine intimacy. And thus, as we conclude this exploration, let us remember that the dance of the avoidant heart is a dance of courage, a testament to the resilience of the human spirit. It is a journey worth undertaking, for it is in the balance of connection and independence that we find the true essence of love.
If you believe this video might help someone dear to you, share it with them. A small gesture on your part could mean the world to a friend in need.